Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Saturday, January 31st, very last day of January already, 2026. Well, it seems as though the energy has just gone very, very fast since just the very first day of the year, and there are astrological reasons for it. There are currently five planets in the unconventional, often visionary, sometimes just strange and weird, but certainly rebellious and individualistic air sign of Aquarius. And that is why Aquarius's ruling planet is Uranus, the planet of sudden change and often chaos, freedom from the known, as Krishnamurti once said. Well, guess what this year has been like so far? We got a lot more of it coming up. The sun today is at 11, moving to 12 degrees of Aquarius. The moon changes signs today. It begins the day, and for most of the day is in the latter degrees of ultra-sensitive, often moody, but generally nurturing water sign Cancer. It changes later in the day into the grand and glorious fire sign of Leo. So I'm here in the gold, as I always am when the moon is in Leo. That's not until later in the day, though. Most of the day it's in the latter degrees of water sign Cancer, and in fact its first aspect early in the day from 22 degrees of Cancer, it's a hard square, 90-degree angle to Chiron, called the wounded healer. So it's one of those aspects that says, be sure you don't get up in the morning and stub your toe. 4:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that's exact. 7:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12:28 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then the moon at 28 degrees of Cancer makes a smooth sextile to Uranus, which, as I mentioned, is Aquarius's ruling planet, at 28 degrees of Taurus. That occurs midday into the afternoon, 11:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7:55 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And a couple of hours later, the moon makes a harmonious flowing trine from 28, almost 29 degrees of Cancer to Saturn, the planet of structure and discipline and responsibilities, currently at 28, almost 29 degrees of Pisces. And all of this is relatively smooth energy, the nice sextile to Uranus and the lovely trine to Saturn. So the day is a lot smoother in terms of energy than the rather jagged-edged energy of yesterday, very discordant. Well, this moon trine Saturn occurs 1:52 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 9:52 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. A couple of hours go by, and then the moon does move into Leo, grand and glorious, fire sign of Leo, which changes the energy into something, well, certainly more expressive, but a whole lot easier, generally speaking. We, of course, are moving toward the full moon. The full moon in Leo occurs early on Sunday. The moon moves into Leo at 4:09 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 12:09 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Moon just a couple of minutes after that makes a harmonious flowing trine to Neptune, the planet of dreams and visions, which has, of course, just moved into Aries. And so that trine from 0 Leo to Neptune at 0 Aries is very active. Fire signs are just lickety-split, very active. 4:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that's exact. 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12:23 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Late in the night, the moon opposes Pluto from 3 degrees of Leo to Pluto, the power planet, at 3 degrees of Aquarius. I'd go to bed before then. This is kind of nasty. 10:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6:21 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. It's one of those get into power issues with people kind of energy. So easy does it late in the night. Generally speaking, it is a much more harmonious day than yesterday. Let's see if we can enjoy it. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Hey, we got a whole new month coming up. Time for you to have a reading with me and see what's happening in your chart and what's coming up for you. You can book a reading with me at starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy today, no matter what.